Welcome! Today we are sharing with you 10 super easy freezer meals that require absolutely no pre-cooking. So
Yay!
These are just dump and go.
We love dump and go because it's easy.
When you have a busy life and busy family, easy and fast.
Easy and fast is important. We are freezer meal experts. We have made over 5,000, over 6,000 freezer meals. We like easy and fast. Let's get started.
The first recipe that we are sharing with you today is shredded beef nachos. This is one of our 5 ingredients or less recipes, so couldn't be easier to start. You're going to add a beef chuck roast into your large resealable freezer bag. Then you're going to put in some taco seasoning, either a packet or you can just spoon out 4 tablespoons, some salsa, and beef broth. You're gonna get all the air that you can out of your bag, mix it around, seal it and freeze it. On the day you go to cook this, you're gonna thaw it and put it in your slow cooker. So you're gonna take it from the bag that you dumped the ingredients in and dump it into your slow cooker. Then you're gonna cook that up, shred it, and you can serve this on nachos, or you can serve it in tacos or any kind of Mexican inspired meal. You can do tostadas or whatever. These are so good.
We recently did a tamale casserole in our mega session.
Yes.
In there was a YouTube comment from a woman who was making other suggestions to do besides ground beef. This would have been one of the things that would have worked really well in the tamale casserole. If you are interested in seeing our mega session,
we'll put it right there.
We made 129 meals in a couple of days. This cashew chicken sheet pan meal is so good and it is so easy because you're making it on a sheet pan. There's not going to be, 10 things going on in your kitchen. It really just is on a cookie sheet in your oven, and you can do it on foil or on parchment paper and it makes it clean up so much easier. Into our bag, we are going to add in cubed up boneless, skinless chicken breasts, raw. We're going to add in snow peas, and on top of that, we're going to add our cashews. That is it for our first freezer bag. The second one, we're going to add our vegetables. Yellow pepper, red pepper, orange pepper, some purple onion, and that's it for the next bag. Then, in a bowl, we are going to mix together soy sauce, rice wine vinegar, sesame oil, ginger, garlic. Now, we just use the garlic from a jar for minced garlic, because honestly, we go through it so much, to stand here and mince our own garlic would be a lot. And the same thing for the ginger. We're gonna add in some ginger here. We use squeezy tube ginger. You find it in the deli section of your grocery store. We're not grating our own ginger, but it is still fresh ginger and it's just at our fingertips. We're going to add all those together into the bowl, and then we're going to pour half of it into the bag that has the chicken. And then we're gonna pour the other half into the bag that has the vegetables. We're gonna get out all that excess air. We're going to staple these together and freeze them. On the day of cooking, you're going to start out with just your vegetables on the baking sheet, and you're going to cook that at 425 for 15 minutes. Then you're going to add your chicken, snow peas, and cashews and give it another 15 minutes. You can garnish it with some chopped green onions and some sesame seeds. I would serve this with rice and it's your full meal.
So good, and really in half an hour, you've got your healthy, delicious dinner on the table. It is solidly winter. We can no longer say that it's fall, it's winter. And as such, you might be missing your barbecue if you live in a colder place like we do. And you might be missing those barbecued steaks. If you are, we have a solution for you, and it's super simple and you can enjoy it all winter long. These are our steak bites. Easy to make, and they can be cooked up in a skillet or in the air fryer, so you don't need your barbecue. Into your large freezer bag, you're going to put some steak that's been cut into 1-inch cubes. You can use sirloin, New York, strip loin, ribeye, whatever you like. And then you're gonna add some olive oil, soy sauce, minced garlic, again from the jar, paprika, salt, and pepper. That's it. Just give that a shake in the bag to combine it. Get out all the air that you can, because when you're freezer cooking, air is going to be what causes your freezer burn. So we always do what we can to get as much air out. Then you're going to get it into your freezer. On the day you go to cook this, you can cook it up in your air fryer. It will only take 10 to 20 minutes. And then you want to serve it with some melted butter. You could also make that into an herbed melted butter, just with adding some rosemary or parsley or thyme right into your butter. Or if you don't have an air fryer or you're not very confident with using it yet, ooh, if that's you, we're gonna put a video right there to some mega head air fryer recipes that are really good. But you could just do this up in a skillet. Fry those up in a skillet, and in the meantime, you add that melted butter and just get that goodness, and then you can get your steak fix in the middle of winter.
This next recipe is one pot pasta puttanesca. We do make this a fair amount because it's super flavorful.
It tastes like restaurant food at home. It's like you're having such a treat.
And it's so good.
We've already made one of ours from the mega session that we did.
So have we.
And it's just so good.
It was just right there on top saying, make me. In your bag, you're going to add in some olive oil, some anchovy paste, garlic from the jar. We'll add in San Marzano tomatoes. These come as a whole tomato, like a plum tomato. You will want to break them up with your fingers. You can do it in the bag, you can do it in the can, you can do it in a bowl separately, whatever works best for you. We're going to add in Kalamata olives that have been pitted and halved, some capers, red pepper flakes, chicken broth, and salt and pepper. Because this is a one pot, you will need spaghetti later on. You don't have to obviously put it in your bag right now. And it's nice to have with some fresh basil and some Parmesan cheese. So we're gonna get all this in the bag, seal it up and freeze it. On the day of cooking, you're gonna put it either in a big pot or in a large skillet, like a large deep skillet. And you're gonna add in about a pound of spaghetti. Charla and I, recently when we had made this, she's like, I put in a little bit less because it just seemed like so much. And it was a little bit soupy. And I did it, and I did exactly a pound, maybe a bit more, and it was a little bit dry. So you find the sweet spot for you. But if you have to add any water to your pasta while it's cooking, always boil it first, because if you add in cold water, it will stop cooking, just so you know. So you put your pasta right into the pot, you stir it occasionally, and just let it simmer. Once you've brought it to a boil, let it simmer. Give it that good 15 minutes, the spaghetti on the wall test if you want. When you go to serve it, you can put your fresh basil on and a little bit of Parmesan cheese.
I like it with some red pepper flakes.
Of course. At Charla's house, everything has red pepper flakes.
Everything. This chicken Creole is really fast to throw together and has lots of good flavor. You can either do it with boneless, skinless chicken thighs or boneless, skinless chicken breasts. So you're gonna put your choice of chicken into your large freezer bag, and then you're gonna add some tomato sauce, diced onion, diced green pepper, minced garlic, red wine vinegar, Worcestershire, salt, pepper, cayenne pepper, and basil. Squish those gently to combine them, remove the excess air, seal it, and get it in your freezer. On the day you go to make this, you can either bake it in your oven for like 30 to 45 minutes, uncover it and bake it for about 10 minutes more, or you can make this one in the slow cooker. So it can go from your bag where everything was dumped in and get dumped into your slow cooker. You probably want to serve this one over pasta.
I would do it with rice.
Oh,
to me,
interesting.
Creole
That's true.
should be with rice.
There you go.
Or potato, well, rice.
Rice. Yeah.
I think it should be with
Yeah,
rice.
I agree.
That's just my, personal opinion. Marry Me chicken is my son's top 5 of freezer meals that we make. It is really, really, really good. It's a fun one that I've sometimes have fun with on the label. I don't show it here, but if we're doing them for us personally, instead of Marry Me chicken, it's Marry Me chicken, as if you're gonna get married to the chicken. When you do your own labels, you can just have fun with them. We have a Freezer Meals 101 club where when you're going to go make a bunch of these meals, it takes a lot of effort to actually go through all of the ingredients, tick, 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 tick. You should see Charla's worksheet when she's done with it. It is sometimes a bit of a nightmare and I wouldn't know how to read it. But when you have the club, it does it for you. We have a meal plan, you can put your recipes in it, it will tell you the shopping list, it will tell you the prep list, and it has printable labels that have the title, and it will tell you how to cook it as cooking instructions right on the label, like you see in our videos. They're available in the club. You can be a member of the club. You can have an annual membership, you can have a monthly membership, and you can be just like me and Charla and get your freezer stacked so you can relax. Back to the chicken. In our bag, we are going to start with our chicken thighs that are boneless and skinless. We're going to add in our minced garlic, thyme, red pepper flakes, basil, some salt and pepper, and then our sauces. We're going to add in some chicken broth, a bit of heavy cream or whipping cream, and some sun-dried tomatoes. I like to chop ours first so that they're in littler bits. They're a little bit more palatable for the young people at my house that want to eat this, but you can leave them whole if you wanted. And some Parmesan cheese. We're gonna mix that all around in our bag, get the excess air out, seal it, and freeze it. For the day of cooking, you just cook this up right in your skillet over medium heat. You let some of the moisture cook off and it just gets a nice little crispiness to it. You can serve it with potatoes, you can serve it with pasta, you could serve it with rice, you could serve it however you like with a side dish of some steamed vegetables, sprinkle a little Parmesan cheese on it, and this is such a nice recipe.
It's really good.
That's why they call it Marry Me Chicken. You're gonna make it for somebody that you would like them to marry you. And if you can make this dish, maybe that'll be what's working for you.
I don't think you're gonna get anyone to marry you with this slow cooker mixed bean casserole. But if you already have people to feed, kids to feed, a spouse to feed, yourself to feed, if you're already feeding people, you just make this. It is gonna get people fed.
And beans are good for you. A mixed bean casserole is gonna have a variety of beans. It just gets healthier and healthier by the minute. And it's actually really tasty.
And it's super fast to put together,
Right.
which is kind of the theme today.
That is the theme today.
This is vegetarian. You're gonna have your freezer bag and you're gonna dump some pinto beans. I like to use the chili style pinto beans. They're made by Heinz. They've just got a little bit more flavor, but use whatever pinto beans you want. You're gonna add a can of black beans, some taco seasoning, salsa. Use a chunky salsa, but whatever is your favorite. Frozen corn and cubed sweet potato. That's everything that's going in your bag. You're just going to, again, squish that right in the bag. Then you don't have to dirty a mixing bowl. You're going to get out the air, seal it, freeze it on the day you go to make this. Couldn't be easier. You're just going to dump this into your slow cooker and cook it on low for 6 hours. If you were in a pinch, you could also cook this on the stovetop.
Yeah, you totally could. Barbecue meatloaf, it has been a staple in our house for, over 10 years. It is such a good one. It is homey, it is comforting, it smells good, it's delicious. It's all the things.
My husband likes it too.
Meatloaf makes everybody happy. We start out in a bowl with our ground beef. We're going to add in breadcrumbs, some graham cracker crumbs, evaporated milk, some minced onion, some lightly beaten eggs, some pepper, and a bit of dry onion soup mix. We're gonna mix that all together. You could do it with a spoon. I often just do it with my hands because it's easier and it feels a little bit more complete. All of this can go right into a large freezer bag. You're gonna get all the air out, seal it up, and then you're gonna make the sauce. In another bowl, you're going to add brown sugar, dry mustard, ketchup, and a little bit of chili sauce. You're gonna mix that. If you don't have chili sauce, I'm gonna tell you, you can use some barbecue sauce. That's typically what I use. I don't always have chili sauce at my house, and Charlotte always does. So either I borrow some from her, because I'm not gonna buy a whole chili sauce for the 3 times a year I make this meatloaf. I either borrow some or I use barbecue sauce. That's all. You mix it together, put it in a separate freezer bag, in a medium-sized one, staple those guys together. On the day of cooking, you wanna thaw everything. I like to make my meatloaf in an 8x8 pan. It's shorter, it's not the loaf size. It still cooks for about an hour. You're gonna put the sauce right on top of it and let it cook with everything. Let it set for a bit and slice it up. You can serve it with mashed potatoes, with like baby potatoes. This is, if you're eating meatloaf, you want to have it with potatoes. Mm-hmm. That's really.
And like a side of green beans or broccoli or something.
Cream corn.
Oh, yeah. That would be good. Mm-hmm. Oh, cream corn brings me right back to my childhood.
It's just homey. We have a really great cream corn recipe in our club.
Yes, we do.
And it's fresh and it's good. You should check it out. And it has bacon.
This teriyaki salmon is so delicious and tastes like restaurant food again, which is nice. And healthy because it's salmon, but really, really easy. When we do our salmon recipes, we like to portion out the salmon fillet into individual portions because it fits easier in the bag that way.
Yep.
And then it's done for you on the day that you go to cook it. So you've portioned your salmon out, put it into your freezer bag, and then you're just gonna toss in some low sodium soy sauce. It's really important here that you use the low sodium because these are recipes that we have tested, and we know that if you use regular soy sauce, it's gonna be too salty. Then you're gonna add in some orange juice, bit of water, some melted honey, minced garlic, some ginger, again from the squeezy tube, chili flakes, sliced green onions, and sesame seeds. Now, you want to give this a squish in your bag. You don't want to squish too hard because you don't want to wreck your salmon.
You don't want to
in any
dent.
way.
You don't want to dent your salmon.
No, but you get that mixed together, get it sealed with as much air as you can out of there, and then get this in your freezer. This can be cooked up in a skillet, on a barbecue, in your air fryer.
One other thing, we don't mention it often, but if salmon is new to you, sometimes salmon has pin bones. So feel along, and I just use a pair of tweezers usually and pull them out, or if I can pinch between my thumb and a knife and I can pull them out. Just check for pin bones if you're not used to working with salmon. Now back to sheet pans. We are going to do a beef and broccoli sheet pan. It tastes like Chinese food, like it is, but better because you've made it and it's fresh and you know,
and it costs you less money.
And it costs you way less money.
That makes it taste better.
And just as much cleanup because it's on a sheet pan. In our bag, we're going to add our beef stir-fry strips. You can buy them from the store or you can slice them up yourself. We're going to add in broccoli florets. You can use fresh or you can use frozen for this. We will add in again the low sodium soy sauce, minced garlic, honey, brown sugar, sesame oil, some rice vinegar, squeezy tube ginger, salt, pepper, and some cayenne pepper, just a little bit. We're gonna mix this around in the bag, get all your air out, seal it up, and freeze it. On the day of cooking, you are going to use a cookie sheet and put some parchment paper on it or some aluminum foil. There's a couple of ways you can do this. Basically, you wanna save the sauce back so you can, because you want it to marinate, but you need the sauce to be thickened. So this is how I do it. I don't know how you do it, but this is how I do it. I either use a slotted spoon to remove the vegetables and the beef, and I spread them out evenly on the tray, and then I can add some cornstarch right to the bag, or you can pour it into a bowl and then add the cornstarch in because you want it to be just a little bit thickened up. So we're gonna add about a tablespoon of cornstarch, or you put it straight into a pot and you heat it up, add your cornstarch to a little bit of water and mix it in really well, and then you can add it into the hot sauce. You want it to get nice and thickened because then when your beef and broccoli come out, you're gonna have them only in the oven at 425 for 10 to 12 minutes, and you're gonna drizzle it with this sauce that you just made, and it is so good. You're gonna sprinkle some sliced green onions and some sesame seeds on it. I would serve this up with rice. You could also make it with your cashew chicken and have an Asian night.
Totally.
And your teriyaki salmon. You could do all kinds of things. Boy, is this a good one, and it is a really great answer to
what's for dinner.
What's for dinner? Yeah, you're right.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope that we've given you some ideas that are maybe a little bit out of your usual set of meals that you pick from.
And we just wanted to show you that freezer meals aren't just lasagnas and casseroles. They can be so much more.
We're gonna put a video right there to some meatball recipes. It's like an all meatball, but it's using those pre-cooked meatballs you buy from the store. So it's along the same theme of you're just putting all the ingredients into the bag, you're not pre-cooking anything. It's super easy. And if you pair some of those with some of these, and if you double all the recipes, you're gonna end up with many months of dinners for your house. Thanks for joining us and happy cooking.